ranking the Big Ten offenses from worst to first. Well, Iowa, but they don't even have an offense. They're last, 14th. 13th, Ohio State. Ohio State's offense is pathetic. I mean, forget trying to score. They can't get first downs against something called Rutgers. And here we go, 13 seconds to go until halftime. Rutgers has dominated this game. Ohio State has played good red zone defense and forced 2 field goals. So the score is 7-6, Ohio State on top. But so Rutgers has had 2 scoring drives already. Here's their third, 9 seconds to go, second and goal. So either way, they're going to take the lead, either a field goal or a touchdown here heading into halftime against the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. When will the playoff committee learn? They did this last year. They put a terrible, broke-down Tennessee team at number 1 in the first playoff rankings. And Tennessee immediately came out and laid an egg against the Georgia Bulldogs and got the shit beat out of them. And after that, the playoff committee put the right team number 1. I guess they're going to have to do that again because Ohio State looks absolutely pitiful in this game against Rutgers. Kyle McCord has 80 yards passing. There are more NFL wide receivers on Ohio State's roster than some conferences have combined. And Kyle McCord somehow has 80 yards passing. Well, maybe they're running the ball good. Maybe, but maybe not. They've ran the ball for 45 yards in the first half. Ohio State has 120 yards of total offense in the first half of this game against fucking Rutgers. It's embarrassing. Again, Ohio State plays good red zone defense. And Rutgers is going to have to settle for another field goal. Kick is up. Kick is good. 1 second to go. Rutgers 9, Ohio State 7, coming up on halftime in that one. Great game here, Florida and Arkansas. Arkansas got off hot, 14-0. Florida turned the ball over, a scoop and score for Arkansas, and they were up 14-0 basically before the game ever started. Florida came back, tied it up at 14. Arkansas went up by 3. Now Florida's tied it again. 17 apiece. Halftime coming up soon in that one. Texas A&M just scored to make this thing interesting. It looked like Ole Miss was going to run away with it. It was 20-7, but Texas A&M has just scored. They're now 20-14. Ole Miss up over Texas A&M. A minute and a half to go. Halftime of that one. Ole Miss got to go on the road next week. Ole Miss got to go on the road next week. South Carolina, my God. Listen, let me find the updated score here. It was tied a second ago. Right? Yeah, still tied. 14-14. South Carolina is tied with Jacksonville State, an FCS team. And it's weird, too, because Jacksonville State's mascot is the Gamecocks. So the Gamecocks are tied with the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks can't even beat the lower division Gamecocks. We know they can't win a regular seat like Power 5 game. They're a 2-win team. South Carolina's 2-6, my God. And this is a home game, of course, they're playing an FCS team. And 14-14 against Jacksonville State. That's unacceptable. Do these helmets... I'm taking South Carolina out of the SEC if they don't win this game. Forget all this crap we do about turning helmets upside down and shit like that. I'm removing them from the SEC. Do these helmets have SEC stickers on them? Let me see. The real helmets have like SEC... No, I was going to say, I don't usually take the helmets out of these boxes. I was going to take the helmet out and remove the SEC sticker if there was one on there, if South Carolina ends up losing that game to Jacksonville State. But if they do lose, we're going to come up with something, because I can't have no SEC team out here losing to the FCS. It's fucking sad. South Carolina, you need to get your shit together. You know who does have their shit together? The Texas Shorthorns. Horns down. I dare y'all to cry to the SEC office about me doing the horns down, or anybody, or the players doing it, or the fans doing it, or anything. Yeah, they'll laugh you out of the fucking building. This ain't, look, you're leaving the Big 12, okay? You're graduating daycare. Okay, daycare is over. Fuck the horns. Fuck the horns up. Here's your horns down. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna fly in the SEC. Fuck your feelings. You're gonna get this shit everywhere you go. Learn to deal with it. That's best I can tell you. But they're dealing with Kansas State. They're up 17-7. I watched the entire first quarter of that game, and then I turned it because Kansas State just wasn't doing anything. But Malik Murphy looked good in the first quarter. Let's see what his updated stats look like. 12 of 21. Not a great completion percentage, but 175 yards, a touchdown, and he did have that one interception. He did have that. He did have that one interception. Texas has ran the ball for 132 yards. Kansas State only has 110 yards of total offense. Not looking good for Kansas State. And they were red hot, too. I thought they might give Texas a game. I picked Texas to beat Kansas State. I didn't pick Texas to win now. But I picked Oklahoma to lose later. You know, all this thing, Texas and Oklahoma, it's a lock. They're going to the Big 12 title game. I don't know, man. I don't know. It didn't look that way heading into this weekend. It looks like Texas is going to win today. And so they'll stay in first place or tied for first place in the Big 12. We'll see what Oklahoma can do with Oklahoma State later this afternoon. But look, there's so many games on at noon, I can't keep up with them all. I've had to switch back and forth. Today's a great day of college football. Rutgers 9, Ohio State. God almighty. Ohio State's losing to Rutgers. That's just sad. 20-14, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Oh, what about the Taters? That's another game I had to turn off. The Taters are blowing out Notre Dame. 24-9. Jesus Christ. I guess Cade Klubnik's not turning the ball over. I watched the first quarter of that one. I've been flipping around on that one too. Cade Klubnik. Oh yeah, no interceptions for Cade Klubnik. Miracles. It's funny what happens when you don't turn the ball over. Really, the story in that game is Notre Dame just can't score touchdowns. Notre Dame, again, 3 scoring drives, but all field goals. Clemson, 4 scoring drives, only 1 field goal. So Clemson's got 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Notre Dame's just got the 3 field goals. You score touchdowns instead of field goals, it's a 24-21 game. So Notre Dame's got to get it together once they get into Clemson territory. But man, I don't know how many people saw this coming. I know a lot of people did pick Clemson to win. But I don't know if anybody saw Clemson running away with this one, and at least in the first half, that's what they're doing. Taters up big over Rudy. Rudy going to be big mad. Here's the reality. Brian Kelly's a better coach than Marcus Freeman. I don't care how mad that makes to Notre Dame, man. Just because something makes you mad don't mean it ain't true. Brian Kelly is 1,000,000 times the coach of Marcus Freeman. Boy, but soon y'all might figure that out. I don't know. Arkansas and Florida, 17 apiece. Nebraska, Michigan State tied at 10. North Carolina up big over Campbell's Soup. There you go. There's your noon update. What amazing games. I'll be streaming the primetime games tonight right here on this channel. So that, Alabama, LSU, and the rest of the games. So come hang out tonight. Let's watch some college football in prime time. I'll keep uploading videos throughout the day, too, depending on what happens with these games. But come hang out tonight. Let's watch some college football right here on the channel, 7:30. For the afternoon games at 3:30, Georgia versus Missouri, several other big games too. We're going to be streaming that over on the Patreon page. So those of you who are subscribed to the Patreon page, you know the deal. I'll post a link around 3:15 over on the Patreon page. Just click the link. And it'll take you to the live stream. If you're not signed up on a Patreon, what are you doing? What are you doing? We have a good time on there. Anyway, the link's in the description if you want to check it out. A.D. Mitchell's an absolute beast, by the way. They just showed a highlight from the first half. Georgia lost him last year to the transfer portal. Man, he is putting on a show today in this Texas game. He's really, really good. He's fun to watch. Anyway, great day of college football so far, unless you're the suck nut man. Maybe Ohio State should start stealing signs. Then maybe they can get a first down on Rutgers.